Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to another NFL 101. I think this is episode 13 or 14. Let me give me a minute. There we go. Anyway, welcome to NFL 101, or Nathan. Ooh, excuse me. Been drinking hot chocolate recently. Will come and explain to you NFL rules. So, in this particular NFL rules, regulations, all that junk, all that stuff. Uh, so in this particular episode, we're going to talk about uh, something known as Black Monday and the coaching carousel. Now, Black Monday is known around the league, as it is known around the league, is the Monday after the regular season ends. The NFL regular season ends, so before the playoffs start in a few days, and like on the Saturday afterwards. So about 5 days before the playoffs start, or give or take. So this Black Monday refers to the day that typically uh, we see in the NFL, we as fans and media people see in the NFL that uh, head coaches get fired. Uh, they'll change teams. They'll do whatever. It's typically a bunch of coaches will get fired. Essentially, the coaches that it was clear at the beginning of the season that they were going to get fired. If they haven't been fired during the season, this is when they get fired. Usually, this also includes the coaches that were like, "Hey, they're on their last chance of being hired. They're not going to get they're not going to get their contract renewed. Whatever. So it's just an all around bad day to be a head coach because there's a bunch of head coaches that have their jobs taken away from them from failing to make it to the playoffs, failing to win enough games, just failing at doing their jobs overall. So you know, and that's when a lot of the times when we see a lot of head coaching jobs open up too, which segues into the next part is the coaching carousel. So the coaching carousel often refers to the so typically during the NFL offseason there's about 4 or 5 uh, head coaching jobs that usually open up during the season, after the season. It could be more, it could be less, but usually it tops out around five jobs. 5 head coaching jobs are usually where the where the where the coaching job openings tend to top out. Now, on the other hand, um, the means that those 4 or 5 teams on the coaching carousel, which means they're basically in the process of hiring another head coach. Whether that be, okay, we just had Mike McCarthy, let's go hire someone else that'll make that'll be better, or we just had in the terms of the Chiefs back in early 2013, we just fired Romeo Crennel, one of the worst coaches in team history. Let's go get Andy Reid. So along about early January, late December, we know which NFL teams will have coaching vacancies, and we know the top 3 or 4 candidates to fill those vacancies. Whether or not those vacancies will be filled by those top candidates remains to be seen. As we saw last off season, Bill Belichick was often one of the top 2 or 3 names mentioned in the media, saying, "Oh, hey, go get him," and he wasn't ever hired. Now, again, during the NFL during the last parts of the NFL season. He took a job at I think North Carolina, the University of North Carolina, if I remember right. Anyway, so he's back in college. Um, that's another thing that happens to these coaches that are fired. They'll either go back to college with their tail between their legs. Well, they usually would have their tail between their legs wherever. They'll go back to being a. They'll either go back to being a college coach, which is what happened to Nick Saban. Great college coach. Kind of miss on the NFL head coaching search. Again, Nick Saban is one of the best college coaches ever. Took Alabama to several national championships. Great college coach. Now, for people like Steve Spagnuolo, not a great head coach, absolutely fantastic coordinator. So they go to their old head coaches. That used to employ them. Spagnuolo went back to Andy Reid. You saw Josh McDaniels went back to New England. Both times he failed as a head coach. So that's kind of what happens. Is an NFL head coach, once they fail, they'll usually go back to their previous position, or if they look out, they'll become a head coach of like a college football program and have an easier time. Now, as I said before, the coaching carousel refers to the teams that are in the midst of searching for a new head coach. Whether you parted with a longtime head coach that just failed repeatedly, season after season after season, or you had a 1 year a guy who was there for 1 year and just absolutely made a mess of the franchise, like Urban Meyer with Jacksonville. So that's kind of how it works. Is some NFL coaches get 5 or 10 plus years to just repeatedly fail, and that after a repeated failure over 5 or 10 years, then the general manager and or the owner will be like, okay, this head coach isn't working, fire him, start new. Or they could be a 1 year wonder, never really worked out to begin with, and they just move on. With that, I think that's all. See you guys later.